Good afternoon, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a subject to you that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and that is moderation. That is moderating comments on social media, websites, apps, places where people can comment and leave videos or content of some kind. There is an atmosphere going around. It's kind of a stereotypical atmosphere between most, if not all, of the platforms, including the big ones: Facebook, formerly Twitter, now X, I guess, and YouTube, and all the other ones that most people have heard of. I want to comment about a couple of things here. First of all, full disclosure, I am candid. If it's not clear, I do not censor things that are important. It's not to the extent that I have no filter, or that I'm not aware of what I'm saying, or that I have Tourette's or something like that, because I don't. It's more like I refuse to conceal information if it's relevant and on point, even if, and especially if, it contains things that are controversial, up to and including language to emphasize what it is I'm saying exactly. Just like American literature, all throughout the ages, has contained legitimately. So I'm bringing it back, if nothing else. Anyway, if that makes sense. But I want to tell a short story, a true story, about my own experiences on Twitter, formerly Twitter, and it hopefully will highlight a problem, a big problem that ties into censorship and abuse of power. So I have not been a Twitter user for years, several years now. Before which I was a sporadic user. I was not, a daily user, but I checked it and I posted things occasionally for, the better part of, I guess, 10 years or longer. But a few years ago, something happened where I left a comment. It might have even been on my own feed. I'm not sure if it was mine or someone else's, but that was not the problem. Moderators flagged my comment as being suggestive of self-harm, was the excuse they gave, and it was in fact just a sarcastic comment about equating some kind of activity with, I'd rather punch myself in the head than do whatever it was. I don't even remember exactly what I was talking about, but it's been a long time. But they flagged it, and what they did is they actually blocked my whole account just because of this one comment. They told me, or their system told me, that in order to re-access the site, and that is to post any content, to even view most content, I would need to delete my comment completely. And then they would consider unblocking my account. I have not gone back. It's been years, and I don't need to. And I refuse to, because there was nothing wrong with it. And it's not being stubborn. It's about doing the right thing. And as long as it may take for me to continue to do the right thing, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it doesn't cost me anything to just not go there. So that's one example. It's one example of algorithms that are a little too wound up, if you ask me. And when it's not an algorithm, if it's a human being, they're also wound up. They are obsessed with a whitelisted vocabulary, first of all. I maintain that words themselves out of context cannot be hateful. The context defines the spirit of a comment. And if you don't have the sense to, understand a context, or if you're just looking for specific words out of context, you don't belong in a job of being a moderator, a content moderator. You just don't know what you're doing at that point, because words and symbols in general are meaningless outside of the picture. Okay, that's what gives them meaning all the time. So in any case, we are obsessed with inclusion. We're obsessed with equality. We're obsessed with diversity. And if you're not in favor and in support of these campaigns, then you get blocked. I am currently banned from Imgur, too, imgur.com, if you're familiar with the app and the website, just for participating in conversation. I have reviewed my own comments, and there was nothing disrespectful, nothing even marginally disrespectful. It's just, it wasn't specifically supportive of the things that they are activists about now on that website. Okay, and I'm not going to get into too much detail. It's not even about that. But I have not been able to upload content or comments on that website either for years. Okay, and I'm not going to assume it's about me. I'm not going to assume that I'm targeted. All this, I can't deny that either necessarily. So the thing is, when the sum of all this activity, all these blockings and bannings and censorship, it amounts to censorship. It becomes a very specific type of censorship where only people who agree with the moderators and their bosses, so to speak, are allowed to have a voice. This is where it's at. And if we're being honest, this is what it's always been about. We're rigorously, nowadays, if you're familiar with other platforms, rigorously enforcing topic adherence. I say that again. You enter a chat room, for example. There's something called IRC, and this isn't so much about that, but I want to connect it real quick. Many networks now are banning people on site, anyone who says anything off topic, quote unquote, as if these channels that are wide open to the public access, have some specific set of rules that everybody must abide by. I mean, yes, there are rules against hate speech. I get that. There are social protocols that cannot be ignored or condoned. I get that. But to insist that everybody who comes into this public chat room, just like walking into a supermarket that's also public access, must behave in accordance with the agenda, the very specific topic that they're giving you, I'm sorry, that's contrary to freedom of speech. You're not allowed to do that. You can make a private channel. You can put a password on it. You can make it invite only. IRC, for example, supports all of these things natively. It's real easy to set up, but unfortunately, they don't want to do that because they wouldn't benefit from the exposure anymore of public access. Okay, if you're going to be a social media platform, if you're going to try to work there or run it yourself, and it's open to the public without any kind of barrier to entry, you are obligated ethically and legally to uphold the free speech laws and principles that are written and unwritten. People that do not do this are in violation of those things. And this is the atmosphere we're living in. We hear about how toxic censorship is rampant in North Korea and China and all these, faraway places that very few of us ever visit. Oh, is that right? Well, I'll tell you what I see with my own eyes right here at home. I'll tell you how hard it is to even get a word out right now in America. Let's talk about that. In any case, I am going to continue being candid. I'm going to continue to highlight the things that are important to me. I'm going to continue to use language as I see fit to emphasize the things that are important that people need to hear. And I'm going to continue to get banned predictably, and that's okay. Eventually, everyone is going to have to answer for their own choices. I'm confident of this. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but on a long enough timeline, you will answer for your choices. And I will too. Hope everybody has a great day. Reach out with questions or comments in whatever language you choose to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.